Welcome back to the Council Tough Madden League Week in Review for Week 12. We'll start off with the weekly awards. Drew Lock from the Rams for the NFC offense. Jay Taylor for the Bears for the NFC defense. Tyreek Hill with a dominant performance for the Ravens for the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Congratulations. By the way, this guy played against this guy. Now we'll get into the matchups. First up, we have Jags at Saints. The Saints largely outgained the Jaguars on the ground, 261 yards to 19 rushing yards, and controlled the ball for 75% of the time of possession. Dwayne Haskins had an efficient day with 111 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Chris Thompson, more like Chris Get Off Me Son, had 182 yards on the ground. Saints won 20-13, by the way. Next up, Vikings at Chiefs in a user-user matchup. The Vikings had more time in possession than the Chiefs, but the Chiefs capitalized in the red zone with 100% efficiency, scoring 4 touchdowns in all 4 trips. The Chiefs' stars shined as Trubisky finished with 3 touchdowns, 2 to T.Y. Hilton, and Gurley had 2 touchdowns on the ground, leading the Chiefs to a 38-17 victory over the Vikings. Next up, we have Jets at Patriots. The Jets outgained the Patriots by nearly 100 yards, but that wasn't enough as the Patriots squeaked by with a 26-23 overtime victory. Austin Fink, in his NFL debut, disappointed fans with 2 interceptions. A fellow HST alum, Kyle Bauerkemper, led the Patriots on the ground with 52 rushing yards, and another HST alum, Dustin Engel, had 4 catches and 32 yards. Next up, Browns at the Rams. Drew Lock played all too familiar with 4 interceptions, but he luckily had 7 touchdowns. Travis Kelce led the team in receptions with 12 catches for 172 yards, but his teammate DeAndre Hopkins vultured him in the end zone with only 32 yards but 4 touchdowns. Rams win 49-38. This one might be a little confusing to you all because I do not know how the Bills lost this game. The Bills outgained the Broncos by over 200 yards. But lost the turnover battle and had a far less efficient rewind. The Bills outgained the Broncos by over 200 yards, but lost the turnover battle and was only 60% efficient in the red zone, turning 5 trips into 3 touchdowns. The Broncos only made it to the red zone once, but capitalized on that, scoring a touchdown. The Bills' time possession over doubled the Broncos, and Tom Brady, the league leader in passing, had a 27.7 quarterback rating, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. But a defensive touchdown by Glover Quinn was a difference maker as the Broncos beat the Bills 34-31. That one fucking sucked. Next up, we have Packers at Raiders. The Packers outgained the Raiders, but once again, too many costly turnovers ended up having them fall to the Raiders 27-3. Aaron Rodgers with 0 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Soon to be more like Mr. Rogers, spending his time with his neighbors on the weekends instead of his teammates. Greg Olsen was running with his third leg and ended up having 11 catches and 152 yards. 4 different Raiders had an interception in this game. What a team culture. They got a good thing going here in Oakland. Raiders win 27-3. Next up, Bengals at Ravens. The Bengals over doubled the Ravens' time of possession and even won the turnover battle. But that was not enough to stop the explosive Ravens offense. Mahomes ended the game with 585 yards and 7 touchdowns. Also had 4 interceptions and 2 lost fumbles, but Leonard Fournette finished with almost as many touchdowns as he had yards, with 3 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill, wanted to bend over and bang all the DBs. He finished with 9 catches for 413 yards and 5 touchdowns. What a performance. Next, we have Panthers at Seahawks. A pretty tight game for the Seahawks, even though they doubled the Panthers' yards. And there was no quarterback pressure in the entire game, with only 1 total sack between the two teams, but both quarterbacks still stunk, combining for 218 total yards. But Charmanderick West torched the Panthers for 216 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I forgot to write any notes on this one because I'm an idiot. We'll get right into it. Holy cow. 7 turnovers for the Lions and 0 for the Bears led to a 45-14 manslaughter in Detroit. Big day on the ground, it seems, for Dalvin Cook. Cam Newton, pretty efficient day, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook with 31 carries, a real bell cow back. 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quiet day for Odell Beckham Jr. 4 catches for 61 yards. Michael Kendricks, more like my ball Kendricks, continued his terror on opposing quarterbacks with another interception. He's on record-setting pace for the season. And that was your week in review for Week 12, Council Tough Madden League.